This is AHMED for IFL TV in association with MTK Global via Skype. I'm joined by IBF super middleweight champion of the world, Caleb Plant. Caleb, how's the situation with coronavirus in Las Vegas?
I mean, there's definitely been some deaths. Definitely people who've been sick. I think like 80 people have passed on from being sick out in Vegas. But I don't think it's near as bad as some of the other places. And there's they say that the sun and the heat, helps with the coronavirus, and it's kind of starting to warm up out here. So hopefully that'll help it out.
What's your day-to-day routine been like? Are you still able to go to the gym and stuff, Caleb?
I have a private setup where I'm able to go to the gym, and I have a setup at home as well where I'm able to like work out and do my strength and conditioning for the most part. And so I'm staying busy, staying in the gym, staying working, staying sharp. That way, when this thing is over, I'll come out, a little bit better.
This virus, of course, affecting the whole world. Businesses and boxing is one of the businesses that is affected hugely. However, do you think for someone like yourself who's been craving for a unification fight, that this virus, this delay, is going to force the bigger fights, the bigger money fights, the unifications to happen more quicker when this virus is over? Do you think it will force bigger fights to happen?
I'm not sure. It's hard to speak for everybody else. I hope so. I think that would be great for the sport of boxing, and that's how you submit your name forever. So hopefully it pushes some of these guys to want to step up and make these big unification fights that you and myself and everyone else are looking for. So
definitely, you're in a unique division where each champion holds one belt. You all have your separate key. Of course, you with the IBF, Benavidez with the BC. You got Callum Smith with the WBA and Billy Joe with the WBO. So you all bring something to the table. However, Canelo is the money man. That is the money fight in boxing. There were rumors going around, there were suggestions after your last fight that you and Canelo might have happened, but you said it wasn't the right time. Do you want to just elaborate on that comment, Caleb?
Yeah, after my fight at the post-press conference, Marcos was just asking basically a hypothetical question at the time if, I'd be willing to fight May 2nd and, just fight in February 15th, February, March, April, and then May 2nd. A world championship camp is usually 8 weeks. And, just to be rushing things and forcing things that quick when I just came out of camp, I think a lot of people misunderstood me for saying that I wouldn't fight because I just came out of a fight. But it's not the fight that you need to rest, because I didn't take, a whole lot of punishment. It wasn't a back and forth war. It's the training camp that you have to rest from. All the rigorous training, the miles you put in, the rounds of sparring. Most people put over 120 rounds in of sparring for a world championship fight. So you have to rest from that. You got to let your body recoup and recover. You can, a lot of times someone like Tevin Farmer, someone who's fought so frequently, but then in his last fight against Joseph Diaz, he looked off, he looked flat, and he's defended his title like 4 or 5 times in a year with no breaks from training. So I think that's something that kind of caught up to him. And then also with Deontay coming back really quick after fighting Luis Ortiz, he looked kind of shot in his legs a little bit from the get-go. And, I know old fighters used to, fight more frequently, but they stopped doing that. And I think that they stopped for a reason. So, I don't want to be swindled. If he's the cash cow, if he's the biggest name in boxing, then why would I not get an 8-week camp just like I would for any other world champion or, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely, I hear that. You want your full preparation for someone like Canelo.
Yeah,
Let me ask you,
I'm a world champion. I've solidified myself as a top dog in this division, so I don't have to be desperate. I don't have to rush. I don't have to, I'm a 7-figure fighter. I'm not in a desperate situation where I have to just jump on any opportunity that comes at me.
Well, your views on Fox recently in your recent fights have been huge. Is that correct?
Yeah. Little over a year ago, I won the world title with the most views on FS1 ever, with 986,000 views. I fought Mike Lee. We had 1.4. And then in my last fight, we had 1.8. So I've doubled my views in a year. And, I feel like I'm in a great spot. I've been working really hard. And it's really starting to, come full circle. So.
Well, let me ask you about another champion in your division that fights on Fox as well, David Benavidez. Do you think that fight will happen next year, Caleb?
I hope so. I hope so. There was a video, and I even posted it, because I feel like a lot of people were saying that, it's like I didn't want to fight David, even though, I keep saying I want to fight him when he won his world title against Ronald Graville. I was waiting at the bottom of the stairs to say, hey, when are we gonna fight? And but there's a video circulating to his promoter saying that we're not fighting this year. He don't want us to fight this year. He wants the fans to wait and make him pay more when it does come. So I don't know. There's no one from my team who wants to be hesitant about it. This is something that we want to a show that we want to put on for the fans, but I'm not sure if him and his team, feel the same way from the video that was, circulating.
What would be the fight that you want most? Any of the champions, really, Caleb?
Any of the champions, but I want to fight David. I want to unify with that. I want the WBC belt. So.
There's a bit of beef and rivalry between you two as well.
I mean, I don't think there's like real beef on his end. I think that he's just kind of like, doing it for the cameras, really. Because he'll say certain things, and then when we see each other, he doesn't have like the same energy. Not that he runs away from me, but he just, he acts like he's going to do one thing, and then when he sees me, he just tries to shake my hand or, nod his head. So, but I don't like him or his team. So.
Before I talk about the other belt holders, let me quickly ask you about Danny Jacobs. He went on Instagram Live recently with Eddie Hearn, and Eddie asked him, how do you assess the division? He said that you're the weakest champion. Sees you as the easiest fight of the champions. Have you got a response to Danny Jacobs?
I mean, the weakest champion is still above him because he don't have a belt. So,
Is that a fight you'd entertain, Caleb, even though he doesn't have a belt?
Absolutely. I mean, if the situation was right, I'm looking for big fights, people with big names in the division, and I know he's got a name, but he's kind of past his prime and doesn't hold too much relevance. You feel me? So if he was able to, if we can make something, happen, then I would absolutely want to make it happen. But he's been beat a couple times, so he seems beatable too to me.
With that fight, though, it seems like the problem would be the networks. Obviously, he's with DAZN, you're with Fox. It's going to be an issue there.
Absolutely. The thing is, for two networks to cross over like that, it's going to take two mega stars. And so we could have fought, and he could have beat me just like he wanted. But the fact that he's not a megastar because he's already lost a couple of times and been knocked out cold, it's going to be hard for him to become that megastar and for us to cross networks and get that fight. So if that's something that he really wanted, then he should have held up his end of the deal and his end of the bargain. Because thus far, I'm holding up my end of the deal and my end of the bargain for me to make a mega fight with anyone. Because all you have to do is just keep on winning. So if anybody messed that fight up, I guess it's him, huh?
We're expecting Canelo Billy Joe to be happening on May 2nd. Obviously, that's not going to be the case anymore. If that fight does happen, though, after this virus is gone, Canelo and Billy Joe Saunders, how do you see that one going? Do you give Billy a big chance in that, Caleb?
I don't know. I'm going for Canelo. I want him to win because, regardless of me saying that I didn't want to fight him, February 15th, right after my fight, say I want to fight May 2nd. I'm not fighting anybody May 2nd. I'm not fighting him. I'm not fighting someone who's 0-23. I'm not fighting anybody. But Canelo is somebody that I want to fight. I think that would be a great matchup. And I think that that's something that the fans would tune into. So Canelo's who I want to fight. So I want him to keep winning.
Do you think he knocks Billy out then, Caleb?
I think there's a good chance. But, Billy, he's a stubborn dude. He's got boxing skill. He's got some attributes, fast feet, good boxing ability. So, Canelo may not be able to get a hold of him to where he can just, get him out of there. And, who's to say that Billy won't get his hand raised with, the style that he brings to the table against Canelo. So, it's a good matchup, and I'm just ready to, like everyone else, excited to see it.
Out of interest, Caleb, what happened with the offers that you sent to Gennady Golovkin and Callum Smith?
Well, I think with the everything that's going on, it's kind of put everything on hold, but thus far, no response. So, I like to say that that's because of everything that's going on, but I think once the dust settles on the coronavirus, and hopefully we'll get a response, even if it's even if it's something that they don't want to do, maybe they just get back to us.
So just to confirm, there's been no reply at all from Eddie on Golovkin or Callum Smith. No emails back, nothing.
Not that I know of. Not that I know of. And I speak pretty closely with my management, so it's not like I'm just out of the loop. But we'll see.
Just before we round off, outline a perfect sort of end to the year for this one, and a perfect 2021 for you, Caleb.
End off the rest of this year. The COVID-19 going away today, and just getting back to training. Hopefully, fight in September, and go from there. Enjoy the holidays, with my family, my loved ones, and get ready for next year.
Okay, Caleb Plant, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV. We hope to see you back in the ring soon once this virus goes. Is there anything you'd like to add, Caleb?
No, sir. Just appreciate all you guys tuning in. Stay tuned. There's a lot of big fights to be made, and you'll be seeing me in the ring soon. Hopefully.
Caleb, hopefully, definitely. All right, Caleb, thank you very much for your time. And, hopefully see you back in the ring soon, as I said. All right?
Awesome. All right, man. Be safe.
And you. Cheers, Caleb. Thank you.